when we boarded the plane, one of the people that had been there when they had gone through my bags, they came out there, they let everybody out there, and he boarded, and we followed, and two other people came with the bins, the plastic containers. We still had our bags. Our bags went with us right on the main deck, and they brought the bins in, like right there into the main deck of the plane, sat them right there with the airman guy. We took off, not a long flight, and we landed. We land, and we are let off the plane by the same person that let us onto the plane, the airman. There's a couple people on the ground. We go into a terminal that's close by. It's not much of a terminal. It's mainly large open areas. There's some chairs, and there's like some temporary walls, I guess, like you'd see in an office, making little cubicle offices, but the walls go all the way up. There's other people there. I don't know, but they're waiting for specific people that were on this flight. They're collecting people. They already know who they are. I don't know if they know each other prior or not, but they're leading them in some of these little office areas. There's also a person there that's collecting the people that haven't been collected, and there is 6 of us. And we're just told to have a seat, and we do. One of the people is called into an office, and we just sit there. There is activity. There is people meeting up, greeting each other, taking off out of there, coming out of these offices. But I sit there. My team leader and I get called in almost at the same time, but to different little office areas. And I go in there. I go in around the corner of this little area. There's a countertop, and an individual standing there tells me to place my bag on the counter, which I do. Motions for me to put out my arms, which I do, and I'm patted down. The individual that led me in there and says, "Come over here." We go around the corner to a little office environment. I'm separated from my bag at that time. I have my orders and my security clearance and my ID in my hand. I put them on the table and I sit down. The individual looks at my ID, and that's it. They have some paperwork. It's not their office. There's nothing else in there except me, them, their paperwork that they have, and that's it. And I'm just told to stay there. The person returns in about 3 minutes, and tells me to follow them. Leads me back out. I grab my bag, and my other bag, my plastic bag, is sitting there with my phone and my camera. And I stick that in my duffel bag, the plastic bag right in my duffel bag. At that point, I have my phone and my camera. Just wasn't going to deal with it right at that second. I grab my bag and I'm led back out to where I came from and told to just sit down for a minute. At that point, I noticed a young airman walk in who's about my age. He just kind of walks in, looks around and kind of waits. Um, my team leader comes out. He comes out with the person that he met with. And the young airman that I seen come in makes contact with the person that was with my team leader. And they go off for a minute. My team leader comes over to me, and he's only there. We're only back together for a very brief moment before this young airman comes and collects us. He's just like, come with me. I'm gonna square you away. So, and he's got a van, a white van, right outside the terminal. So we go and we exit the terminal with him. We exit the terminal. There's not a lot of activity at all on the other side of this terminal. We get into a van that this guy's driving, and we take off. And we only go just a little ways, a couple buildings over. There's no real presence of security or anything out of the ordinary. It's kind of like a lot of backlot stuff, kind of feel to it. We go over to this building. He brings us in there. He's a real nice guy. Doesn't say much on the ride there. But we get there, he's like, come with me. We go walk right in the front of this. It's like totally like an admin building. Leads us down a hall into an office where he is. And we're both together, and he's like, have a seat. We sit down, and he's like, I'll be right back. And he comes back with paperwork, clipboards and such. And he proceeds to tell us that it's a secure installation. And he says, don't photograph anything outside of our duties. Okay. Doesn't say anything about our phones. And he says, I'm going to show you where you can go and only go where you're supposed to go. Okay. Pretty straightforward. We don't sign any more special documents. We do sign in though. Like we sign some papers, standard kind of in processing stuff, acknowledging that we've arrived. And that's it. He asks us, he takes us out of there. We get back in his van. He's like, do you guys got any questions? And let me tell you, we got more than a fucking few. Right away, my team leader is just like, yeah, he's like, we don't have any idea, like, what we're doing. We're here with duffel bags, like, we don't know, are we going to work right now? Are we, what is the itinerary? The guy's like, oh, I'm going to get you situated. You're going to go out tomorrow morning to a range. You're going to drive out there. Or get motor moved out there. Okay, no problem. And he proceeds to tell us of like, he's like, there's going to be more people joining you. You're going to be moving it as an element out to a range. We're going to meet up in the morning. I'm not sure exactly the time yet, but I'll let you know. I'm like, okay. So he drives us, and this is not far again. We get into the van, and he drives us just, there's some barracks. There's actually a lot of them, or there was at the time, just right in a little bit. And we drive through some of them, and we go to one that's kind of like on one of the ends. Park, he's like, hey, come on up. Leads us inside. Immediately up some stairs, we go up to the second floor. They got 2 floors. I don't know, there might be a underneath floor, but I don't know. We went up and we got in to, it opened up right into a pretty standard military situation. A room, like a bay room, with a desk, and a person from my particular branch of the military was sitting there. Then there was 2 hallways leading off different directions. I was introduced to the person at the desk. Then the person at the desk and the airman walked us down the hall. The person at the desk showed us to 2 rooms. The airman's just like, stash your bags here. You're coming right back. So we did. And the airman let us back outside. And we didn't get back in the van, but we walked across like a thoroughfare. He's like, there's a building here you guys can go to, whatever, it's open. There's like a fucking sports field, little workout area. There were some weights outside. They have a pool. There's like modest accommodations for a very small installation, which was kind of cool. And he showed us where to eat. There was an eating option in the one building, but there was also the more standard eating option in another building, which was fairly close by. We just walked. And we get back, he walks us back to the van, and he's like, I'm just going to let you guys go. He's like, I'm gonna find out for you what's going on. Just, this is where you're staying. And he's like, you got any other questions? And my team leader, sure as fucking shit, dude. I mean, this was a nice young guy. He was like my age, and I was a younger guy. And my team leader was a higher pay grade. My team leader's just like, where's area 51? And this guy's like, well, this is it, but this is Groom Lake, and there's other places with other names around here, but this is it. So we went back up to the second floor of the barracks, opened the door, and the CQ guy, desk guy, is there, and there's another individual standing there, a senior NCO. We're immediately introduced.